G'day kiters! How do you check out a used kite? Kites depreciate like other expensive things, and you can ask the person selling it, how's it go? And they'll say, oh mate, best kite in the world, best thing since sliced bread. Or maybe that it just used to be great and now it's just regular awesome. But other than that, it can be a bit tricky to see how many miles it's done. So I'm going to compare two kites, 2010 Cabrina Nomad, which has been absolutely punished, and a 2016 Liquid Force Envy, which has only had a bit of use, and we'll see what to look for. The first clue is the state of this bag. I mean, it just looks terrible. We've got seized zippers, which is very common with salt water. It's held together with string. Some of the kite is exposed to the risk of damage, and even the little front pocket has been cut open. So looking at this, I'm already thinking, the kite itself has had a tough life. It's not all bad though. The side pocket works, and so does the bar strap. A lot of bags don't come with this option, and you have to squash your bar in with your kite, which sucks. The Liquid Force bag has straps but no release snap component. It might not sound like a problem, but after a long day of kiting, it's those kind of details that you really start to appreciate on your gear. That's why you often hear kiters saying, oh, yours still has that system? Oh, it's alright, but check out this system. It's so much better. Oh. If you're inspecting the kite in real life, don't just rip it out and start looking at the canopy. If you can check out how the kite was last folded in the bag, you'll get an idea of what kind of life it's had, whether it's been taken care of. Normally a kite will be rolled up to the center from each wingtip, then folded twice like it has been here. If you notice the folding is uneven when you're rolling it out, then chances are it's often been scrunched into the bag, and this can create more creases which wear out the kite over time. Also check for sand or dirt. Over time the sand is abrasive to the canopy and wears it out. Next up, the canopy. Look very closely, get in there with a torch from both sides. Look for creases and small holes, as well as any repairs. This material is in terrible condition. Kites that look this bad are basically worthless because they could tear at any time and their structure is shot. If it looks like this, you may as well go cut up some rain pants and see if that'll fly, because this kite's just going to be flapping around up there, not catching any power. Old canopy material is like paper that's been scrunched up over and over. It gets really soft. It's not going to make much noise when you're moving it, not as much as a new one. And on the newer kites, there's only minor creases, it's not soft to touch, and you'll get better performance that way. On the leading edge, check the valve. The rubber can perish, and the one-way valve inside can fail. If you're not able to inflate the whole kite, then you just test this with your mouth by trying to suck air out of the valve. 9mm style valves like this should be tight and hard to push in, otherwise they'll pop out. Check for sand and moisture inside the bladder using the zipper access. There's sand in the old one and moisture in the new one. A bit of moisture can get in if it's raining or something. As long as it's not Niagara Falls in there, it's alright. Check the bridle attachment points, bladder guards, these are fairly okay. Bridle pulleys, if it has them, these are good. Bridles and backline attachment points, and the strut inflation hoses. All these points can become worn and can break. This strut hose has completely perished and will need replacing, which isn't that hard, but probably means the other ones need replacing too. Look for any repairs. This one has a piece of tape on a leading edge tear, which could easily come off. And this is bad. And that's it! Most stores that sell used kites will give each area a rating out of 5 or 10 for the condition it's in, with the highest score meaning very light use, the second lowest score meaning heavy use, and the lowest score meaning the kite needs repair. They'll then combine these ratings to come up with an overall rating and a price. The price will also be affected by the age and model of the kite, because different brands vary in their retail price and depreciate at different rates. This means there's no super easy way to find out if the advertised price is right, and it's up to you to research the market and ask the seller how they came up with their price. To Despite all the heavy wear we've pointed out in the canopy and strut hoses of this kite, everything else was actually in fair condition. So after replacing the strut hoses and repairing the leading edge tear, this kite came up from a 1 out of 5 to a 2 out of 5, which means it has heavy use but may still pack some power and could stay in the air for 2 or 1 season longer. If you have a small budget, this might be your only option to get out on the water. Or you might decide it's better to have 3 cheap kites of varying sizes that you can use in different wind strengths than 1 expensive kite that you can only use in a certain wind range. Keep in mind though, that if you're new to kiting, you'll probably crash your kite a lot more often, and these cheaper kites are at a higher risk of damage due to their age. Also try and avoid buying bars older than 2008, since the safety release systems on these models were less effective than newer designs. For more info, give Kite Life a call, and we'll see you on the water.